Should I talk about? Now we're actually live.
Oh, he did do it too.
Oh, dude, I love your intro video.
Did you
That's
want to
so
say something
cool.
embarrassing? You can still say something embarrassing if you want.
Nah, it's all right. I'm sure I'll have plenty of opportunities in the show. So
Entire show
let me
long.
let it gestate for a little bit.
Okay. Well, welcome everyone to Splinter Talk Now, episode 15. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Getting more viewers, so we're gonna have to start slapping some ads on so we can rake in the 2 cents a month. It'd be lovely, it'd be beautiful. So thank you guys for tuning in either live or on the podcast platforms. And by the way, we have 2 submissions already for tonight, but if you want to make sure that we see your chat, your comment, your question, use the Splinter Talk Show hashtag on Twitter or join our Discord. There's a spot to give your takes, and Ashley has some for us tonight, some questions. So,
sweet.
That's a spicy new addition to the show. So, thank you guys for being here. I'm going to kick it off to intro. First up, Drop Bear. This is your second time now on the show. So, for those that maybe didn't see you on the previous episode, who are you and where can people find you?
Yep. Hi, I'm Drop Bear. I'm running a YouTube channel. Been running that for a few months now. Also got a guild. You can find me there or on Discord. And yeah, I just like creating Splinterlands content.
Sweet.
Yeah,
short and sweet. I like it. And Rogue for the millionth time. I don't know.
We just need to keep a plus or minus for me and Steve. That's really about it. And I think since he's not here, I think I'm now 1 behind him.
Well, maybe we're just, at one point we're gonna have to flip a coin and make one of you guys like just the permanent co-host or something. I mean, at this rate, it already feels like it. Although Steve is now streaming.
Even flip that coin? Like one of us is paid, or between the two of us, one of us is paid a lot more. It's been a lot more generous than the other one.
To be fair though, he's streaming. We're gonna raid him at the end of tonight's stream because he's now streaming.
This
tonight,
is his first
Splinterlands TV. Yeah.
And when does he go live?
I think in an hour from now. So at the end of the podcast, we should be able to snipe him at the end. So.
Yeah, dead serious. And everyone 100% go over there because he talked about it on the podcast last time, that he was going to go Mylor, Lorena, and Brighton Bloom level 6s? Level 4.
Oh, that's right. That's the giveaways.
Yeah. Literally, I might leave you. I'll just be 1 hour in the show. I'll be like, all right, guys, raid's on.
Oh my gosh, you would.
To go get that.
All right, well, I'm not going to make you co-host after saying that. Jeez. I get it, though. Thank you, Cruton, as well. We already got a Gargoyle Lion donation, so thank you for adding to the Lion's Den. And last but not least, we got After Sound Gaming, which I believe this is your second time as well, right?
Number 2. I'm going to catch up. Don't you worry.
Okay.
I'm going to take on Rogue Padden. And Steve, what's this giveaway that I'm hearing about? Also, are you streaming on Twitch as well as YouTube?
Just YouTube.
Oh, okay. So this is going to be one of those manual raids? Manual raids where you tell people to go over? Okay. I thought I was behind.
But it's fun.
No, that's cool. I thought I was behind. I was just I didn't know YouTube did raids. That's pretty fun.
Yeah, we raided Dwayne while I was streaming. I did a streamception where I streamed his stream and got people over there. The funny thing was, it probably took him about 3 minutes of streaming before he noticed our wall of text. I mean, we kept copy paste, Krill crew, just didn't even see it. Nothing. I mean, it's hard when you're playing and you're talking about the game, though. I mean, you can just miss things. So I get it. It was funny.
It's tough to keep up with chat, that's for sure. Everybody's just so passionate about the game.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. And we'll get to that tonight for sure, because I don't know about you guys, maybe we won't get into nitty-gritty details, but just overall sense of feeling that you guys are getting in the community. I feel like last week there was some more negative pushback because it was the first couple days of the season and I'm only earning a couple chests here and there. But now it feels like most that I'm hearing, I don't know if you guys agree with this, that pretty much everyone is positive, or 90% of people are positive about these changes. Have you guys felt that shift?
Well, except for the champion players.
Well, maybe them.
Seriously, I think everybody in silver and bronze now is yeah, this is wonderful. Everybody that was I'm not earning enough, they're oh yeah, look at all this stuff I'm getting, right? But I think there's still those champion players and everyone. Diamond and champion players are still gonna have some stuff to figure out. They have, I think, the hardest decision to make now in Splinterlands, and it's do they keep pushing champion if they're not champion 1 players, or do they settle in diamond for more chests? You know, like what level, like hearing Dwayne talk about that, like Dwayne I think is mentally committed to being a diamond player from here, which is like a huge humble pill to swallow. Like if you're just like, I am a diamond player, this is where I'm going to be, because like the meta is not different. The meta is not different. It's just competition at that point. Like the cards don't change going from diamond to champion. It is literally just competition. And so, yeah, that champion chest is like to humbly just be like, no, I can't go for you. I'm staying with my diamond chest. You know, that'll be a hard one.
You're making it sound like a love story. Like this.
Oh,
is
dude,
a
100%. Yeah, no, you gotta put some flavor on it.
I mean, Drop Bear, you're up in diamond. Are you struggling? Are you feeling like these changes haven't been good for you, or is this?
I'm still sticking to my original theory. The first day that it dropped, I dropped the video on the original theory that I had. So what I do is I'll play one account, leave that deliberately. So let one drop back to diamond. I play that account all the way to champion, still push forward in that account. And then when it's the season change, I switch all my power across to my other account that was in champion, that now is in diamond, and then I play through again. And that's what I've been doing. And
okay, so still...
I don't have to worry about, having to stay back, and I can still increase. And at the end of the season, if I get to that champion spot, I get the higher rewards.
But you're committing to diamond chests.
I'm committing to diamond chests at the beginning of the season, but hopefully to get the champion each season, then rotate my account with my 2 accounts.
Yeah, but once you get to champion, like you're going to go to the other account that's in diamond, right? So you're going to try to play in champion for diamond chests.
Yes.
Sweet.
Well, that's in between that. What I did was in between when I was waiting for my cards going. That's when I hired more cards in, waiting for them to unlock. Yeah. So instead of hiring the cards at the end of the season, I hire them at the beginning of the season.
Yeah, and part of it too is they said they're going to adjust numbers as they go, and maybe diamond champion players need to readjust their expectations, kind of like we all have. But I think it's probably a lot easier if you're in bronze or silver to adjust those expectations than if you're at the top. But after Sign, how about for you? Just being in the community, being on the team, doing your own videos. Have you felt people more positive, or is there still some pushback?
Yeah, no, I mean, it seems like generally positive across the board. I think it's just the diamond and champ level players or people earning those chests where it's like you get so few of them because the competition is so stiff up there, and because of that, your chances of getting something great are not very high. When I think about this, though, there's 2 issues that they were trying to solve. I mean, there was a multitude of issues, right? But 2 that come to mind that I think are kind of conflicting with one another now is they were trying to improve the new player experience, right? So get better rewards for bronze and silver. And they were also trying to incentivize players to consolidate their accounts so that they'd play at the higher levels. Well, they did really great on the first one, right? Because now they're like, they did so well that champion level players are trying to set up alt accounts to play in bronze and silver. That's how good the earnings are at the lower levels. But I think they're still struggling like, the other guys have said tonight.
For a second, or is that just me?
No, that was just you. I heard him.
What?
Oh, still here?
I can hear you now. See, like, what the heck? Okay, sorry.
No.
Continue.
It's all you, bro.
It's all good. But yeah, so for diamond and champion players, I don't know. They're going to have to make some kind of tweaks, because if it's incentivizing people to play at the lower levels, which
in my opinion, I think, again, like how everybody was, all the bronze and silver players were complaining early, like last show. I got a feeling we're doing the same thing now. And I got a feeling once champion and like diamond players open that season end and they start to kind of buff out those numbers a little bit, maybe get them 50 chests and start to really hit some DEC runs or something like that. Sure. Maybe get a couple of them gold foils, right? I got a feeling like I would 100%. I'm not there. Sorry. I'm totally speculating. But I feel like every diamond and champion player should hold off and wait till season end before making any rash decisions.
Yeah, I mean, we need to make time for the team to collect the data, to look at everything, to hear the feedback. I mean, they're going to be making changes. And I think, too, as well, the modern format coming out maybe in the next month or so, that can change things, too, because part of the reason the competition is so stiff is that everyone is in the same format, right? So you have to compete in essentially a wild format right now. So we'll see how those things change as we go. Before we get into the more of the nitty gritty though of the specifics of our reward thoughts, I do want to go hit the news real quick. We don't have to spend too long because there wasn't like any huge massive news this week, but it's fun to kind of touch on what was talked about in the town hall. So first up, any thoughts about the vouchers now being rewarded to the validator license holders? Before they're like, oh, you won't get it until we go live. And now all of a sudden it was like, boom, you guys are getting vouchers. Care at all? Good, bad, ugly?
Yeah. I mean, in my opinion, I think it'll decrease voucher prices. Like, I think it's just inflating vouchers right now because we really don't have the utility. Like, when I originally talked about it, when they posted about the validator nodes and they kind of soft pegged it to like the 50% off on the validator nodes, I was like, this is going to be an awesome floor, right? Like, in my mind, I was like, if we hit tier, or if we hit like number 2 or at least number 1, you know, in 2 was my mind. It was like, if we get to 2, then like that $5 floor with the $4 being a booster pack, like between those two things, we could probably have a sustained voucher price above $3, you know, because that arbitrage opportunity would just be too great. But like, since watching everything play out now, I don't see heavy demand in the nodes, and I'm not going to see that for a really long time. The promo is now set back till whenever. They got to find a whole new spokesperson for this promo, right? So we're not getting a promo anytime soon. Rift Watchers is how many months? Like
probably a couple more months.
And now
I was definitely sad when they said the athlete thing fell through.
Yeah, but they've doubled the supply. They've doubled the supply of vouchers with no added utility. It has to decrease from here. But like, that's fine for me. Like a while ago when I knew everything was coming, I was fine with the $1 price. So I'm watching now and I'm like, all right, you know, if this does go to like 75 cents, 60 cents or whatever, like how low will it go? And then at what point will I feel like that buy wall will be really good? What is the new $1 for me? And so that's the way I'm looking at it right now. But I was a little disappointed because I thought vouchers was only going to go up from here, but I got a feeling we're going low.
Yeah, could be. Drop Bear, any thoughts? I don't know if you bought a license, but what was your reaction?
Yeah, I don't really have much of a reaction on that, but by saying, as you were saying, that, you know, the price will drop, they're obviously, when they release them other packs, the price of that is going to increase again, especially when they do the airdrop, because they have definitely said that they're going to use them to get them other packs when they release them early. So that's going to add, you know, profit to that and make it increase in price then, if that all goes through the way that they've said. And usually what they say is what happens. So if you understand me, so
yeah. I mean, Aftersound, you're on the team, so this is all your fault, right? I mean, this was your decision.
Basically.
Right. I wish. No. So just for clarification for anyone who doesn't know, I just do music for the team. I don't make any executive decisions. And
it's
actually,
not just your music is awesome. Don't say
let's be real though. Like, as the music, like I said, Bard last time, you could also be a siren. You might be sitting in those and just like being like, you should do some node rewards early. How about some vouchers for people that bought? And they're like, oh wow, that sounds like a great idea. Song in the corner.
Someone clip that and show that to me. They might hire on Rogue next.
There you go. See, look, you got the ideas.
Yeah, do you like my guitar?
Yeah, I mean, I like it. Air guitar. You're all set.
Sorry, this is my. Okay. I know Luke's like window thing. Like, I've done it many times on this show, right, where I'm doing stuff like off here and everything, and this is all that the audience sees. So I have to do all my hand stuff up here.
I have the stream open because I realize it's making me not slouch, because every time I slouch, my mouth is like not even in the frame. So I gotta
but bro, like
anyways, going back. Sorry, we cut you off.
After sound.
Anyways, you had any thoughts about that?
Yeah, look, I mean, you know, I've been maybe a little too vocal about the fact that I wasn't too happy with it. I think ultimately it's great for node holders, and I think it's bad for SPS stakers. So, and a lot of people are both, but I don't know. I just, as an SPS staker, the utility, as Rogue Patton was saying, it's not there yet. And I was hoping that when they did start airdropping the vouchers, that would be like anywhere from 4 to 6 months down the road. We'd have a voucher store, we'd have other utility, maybe ECR potions, all these things. We're not going to get that. So to Rogue's point, we're getting that now. There's this massive inflation of vouchers. I don't know what's going to happen to the price, but I was just talking in the Mav chat about this, where it's like there's a difference between like price and value to me. And so, like I wanted everybody else to burn their vouchers for the no license sales so that I would hold on to mine and grab a huge bag of Rift Watchers packs. But now they're going to print, between now and like August, they're going to print more vouchers than have been burned for the pre-sale. Yeah. So when I look at it that way, I was like, oh, well, I guess I made the wrong move. But, you live and you learn.
Yeah, and to your point, and to Rondon's point in the chat, that they did burn a ton of them in the voucher sales, but yeah, kind of at the same time, like for now, there's not really a ton to do with them. So it's like you're either stacking them up or you're selling them off for maybe a discount to what they'll be down the road. But it honestly makes sense that they're rewarding people that bought licenses, because people dropped, thousands of dollars on these things. So from that perspective, I get it. It just, I think, would have made more sense if they announced that decision and made that decision before the sale went live. But, maybe, just everything's in hindsight, and, who knows what's going on in the internals of the team. Maybe you after sound, but probably not for those types of decisions.
I don't have those, so just be very clear.
I'm not surprised.
I wish they just made a fourth token, though. We could have used a fourth token so it didn't affect vouchers.
How many tokens can we get in Splinterlands? Let's just push the record. Let's get 10 tokens in here. Oh, man. All right. Well, in other news, maybe a little more fun for some of you guys. Plushies went on sale. Anyone buying?
Hold on.
I have not yet. I think it'll make me sad to own like a Jotun or Kitty plushie without actually owning a Jotun or Kitty.
Yeah, right.
So I'm going to wait until there's like a card that I own, and I'm going to grab that plushie.
I saw someone on a tweet say, if you buy this merch, you should get the card with it. I was like, so if you're selling a $20 Jotun, guess what I'm doing? I'm instantly buying like 50 of them.
Oh yeah, 100%. No, but I talked about it a little bit on my Splinterlands TV show on Monday, because it was literally like an hour or so since it released, and I was always I am still a very huge advocate of using intellectual property to sell merch. You know what I mean? Or using your characters and everything along those lines. Like, I am totally on board for that. For my personal journey and my personal story, the ranked reward system pushed me out of max level bronze and started to push, like it flipped the switch for me to go to max level silver. So that's where my finances have been recently. I've been leveling up my splinters in chaos to get to max level silver, and I look at this $70 bill for these two plushies, and I'm like, that's my Kelia, that's getting to level 4 on Kelia. So it's really just like I don't have infinite amount of resources, and it was just bad timing for me. Before ranked rewards, I was comfortable in max bronze, and I would have totally dropped $70 on a plushie. But now I'm buying cards and I'm moving in a collection.
Would you trade your vouchers for one?
Oh, 100%. And I guess that's the other thing, is if it was in-game assets, like I would have probably made a way to do it, you know what I mean? Or arbitraged for it or something along those lines. But no, I think, I don't know, unless something changes in the next 20 days or something. I mean, because, hey, like they did node licenses, and then a week or two after node licenses, then they gave away stuff for buying node licenses. So maybe they'll do the same thing for plushies. Maybe they'll incentivize us to go buy some plushies here in a couple weeks, and then I'll make a decision. But
I would lose my mind if they started airdropping Jotuns to all of you guys.
Dude,
I'd be like, man, I'm 0 for 2. I just can't win.
No, it would be, but yeah, so that's where I'm at. I totally support it. Absolutely love it. I hope everybody gets one, but it's just not in my journey right now.
Yeah. Drop Bear, how about yourself? Did you pick one up?
No, I didn't end up getting one either. Like I said, I think the shipping alone would draw me being in Australia.
Yeah, that would be. Did you even look? What would that even be?
I had a look on Twitter. I had a look on there. I seen you post what you said then on there as well. But yeah, no, I had a look at them. I was just, my kids would probably like it, but I was like, nah. Like I says, I'm sort of a little bit different position, but similar. I'd rather put the money into cards at the moment because I want to get up to that champion more, have a lot more leveled up cards and be more competitive. So, and work on my guild, obviously. So, that's.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that they put these two updates, as you guys are saying it, out there, right? You got the plushies and then you got the rank reward system. And now everyone's like, well, I need more money to level up my cards for the reward system, but now you're putting this thing out that's more geared probably towards the casual player or towards like promoting the art and the IP that you're saying, Rogue. So it's just kind of funny. And it's not bad that they did them both at the same time, essentially, but it's just funny now that everyone's kind of deciding, do I really want to buy one when I could level up more cards? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's a hard decision. And, you know, I think everyone's going to be in a different spot. And for me, I think it's a cool idea. I just personally wasn't a fan of the plushie style. And that's just a personal choice, right? Like, I would rather get something a little bit more realistic, more that reminds me of the cards. When I saw the plushies, I'm like, I don't know if that really reminds me of a Yoden or a Kitty. Like, but again, that's just a personal preference thing that maybe I'm just not a plushie guy. And that's okay. You know, if you want to buy one, I won't slam you for it. Like, go ahead.
They nerfed Yoden. They made him look too cute. Can't have that.
Yeah. Well, in some other quick news, let's see. We got some new eye candy. That was pretty cool. That looked pretty lit to me. I don't know. Thumbs
Yeah,
up
what
for
was
you
that? That
guys.
was the water and the death summoner.
There was the water summoner, and then there was another art piece as they're introing an artist on the town hall. I don't know if it was anything that's going to be used, but it looked cool.
Okay. Yeah, I liked the art. Somebody said something about a death summoner, and I was hoping that it wasn't.
There was the death summoner?
2 of a minute or something, wasn't it? In the town hall.
I don't remember seeing the death summoner, but I could be wrong.
I don't
Someone in
remember
chat
if it
tell
is
us.
because I loved it. It is like we've had the one lore video come out so far that was starting to follow the path of the dude that like crashed off the ship and like all of a sudden found out that his cards like were giving him the real powers, right, as he was playing them. But we've only had that one lore story following this battle mage, right? The first introduction of the human battle mage and the story that they were. Everything else we've gotten is like side conversations out of Scar. So seeing like this image, the idea of like the cards and then the phantasm, like I'm looking forward more to seeing what my role is going to be in Praetoria. And so seeing that image, it got me a little hyped. You know, I was looking at it and I was like, you know what, this is pretty cool. This is really cool.
Yeah, after Sen, how about for you being heavily involved in the lore, the songs, all of that? Do you feel like it's getting better as you guys go? Because at least from the outside, the art is starting to look better to me.
It's awesome. It's really incredible, actually. So I just do the music on there, but being able to work with I don't know, just like so many talented people from like creative writing, narrative. Like they've really built out an awesome department when it comes to, you know, creative as a whole. So that's been a lot of fun, and you know, it's nice to dive into like the rich kind of history and like culture of these characters. And so to Rogue's point, right? Like I'm curious how we fit into all this, and I'm sure there's stuff coming up that we'll probably address that and add to the story over time.
Yeah, all I want is a drop bear card. Drop bear, you need to somehow get into the game.
Well, in the background, I have been working on something like that, but not with Splinterlands because, you know, obviously I'm not in there. But, you know, it's a work in progress. I have got an NFT card game sort of thing, working on that. We'll see how we go.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
I'll have to ask you about that later. That sounds cool.
I think that is one of the things that like I'm like far stretch in my mind, right? One, I absolutely love the way the creative team treated Waka. The way they brought that man into the game and like create like that is just so amazing, right? Two, we know that battle mages are coming into the game, right? The player is going to be part of the story, right? Boom. We have places in the game, right? When you buy sets, top 6 people in the pre-sales get to design cards after kind of whatever, right? Their own likeness or whatever, design their own character. So in my mind, what I think would be absolutely amazing is if the promos in the years to come were our top level esport Splinterland battle mages getting their likeness, their characters immortalized in the game as battle mages.
Is that an awesome idea, or do you just really want to be in the game and you can't afford to be the top 6 pack buyers?
Well, actually, I can't afford that now. I might later, but no, I think it's well, because honestly, it's not a completely unoriginal idea, because like in the game that I came from, Force of Will, the world's player, the one that won the world's tournament, did have a card made in his likeness. That was part of his winnings, right? And there was, in that game, there was just so much respect for the artist, because like that anime style of everything, like art is such a huge part of that culture, right? So all of our cards had just the most beautiful art. So it was such honor to have an artist to make a card out of your likeness, out of, and immortalize you in this game that you've been playing and doing so well at. So like that's what I'm hoping kind of happens in the future, because like celebs and the influencers and all, I think that's maybe one of the things that I'm most disappointed about in Waka, is that like, man, that dude got royalty treatment. Yeah, in my mind, from like a lore, like just respect, like, dude, like the amount of work that they put in to make him awesome.
Right. And he
I've literally never seen that man around
He doesn't
here.
care about the game.
No,
and I think it's a good way to incentivize players, right? Like you can, like it's a play to earn game. We're already getting the monetary value. That's enough incentive in tournaments and play to earn. But I think you can go beyond that, as you're saying. And I think that's something that's really underutilized in all NFT games. Like, one of the best things in the early 2000s was like when Xbox achievements came out, right? Like everyone was talking about that, and it's like, how come with all these NFTs we don't have like an NFT trophy case that we can show? We don't have badges, we don't have achievements, we don't have, as you're saying, Rogue, like a card being made after us because we're a top player. I think those things, it's just like another thing to incentivize players to keep playing and push to the top. So I think what you're saying actually makes a lot of sense.
I have a question for you guys now, kind of just an idea that spurred in my head. If they were to do a tournament, and this would be assuming, if and when ghost card tournaments go live, so it's just going to be based on your talent, right? Like you get to play with whatever the cards at whatever level. If they were to do that and open it to all players, but there was a hefty fee, what is the most amount that you would pay to join that tournament where the winner gets to design a promo card based on them as a character?
Honestly, it depends on physically where is this an in-person tournament?
No, it doesn't have to be. It could be online. So it's more so how one, how confident are you, and two, how much would you be willing to pay on that confidence to enter this tournament to try to get a card made after you?
So currently, 0. It would be 100% 0. And I've brought it up many times. There's literally no way to practice. There's no way to practice. You know what I mean? So like, I'm not gonna try to go like be a stud in a league that I've literally never seen. You know what I mean? I'm not going to go walk into a champion tournament. Even if I have all champion cards available, I have no idea what that meta is.
Well,
I've never practiced it once in my life. What if they do one at
every level, though? Like there's a bronze, silver, gold, and a
but like,
champion one.
Yeah, it would, I don't know. It'd have to be something in my wheelhouse, but
if anything, they could do this as like a set of like rewards cards, right? Because even something like that, where it's just, how do you get the community involved? Well, you run this tournament that could be, a revenue generating event, depending on how many people join and how much you charge. But I don't know, like that'd be kind of cool. And it just makes people get excited about like, oh, wait, if you had a card in the game because you won a tournament, I'd be like, oh my God, I know this dude and he's good at the game and there's a card made after him, right? Like it would just create this whole like, rather than whatever. Ever Hungry Skull is kind of cool. I don't mean to bash on him, but it'd be cool if there was an Ever Hungry like Rogue Patton or something.
and it'd be a good way to draw in other streamers that aren't in the game yet. If they can get some of those big time streamers, I think that would be a lot more valuable than getting Waka or an athlete or whoever. Go get some big video game streamer, get him in the game, get him on a card. I don't know.
Yeah.
Drop here. What's your thoughts? Would you enter a tournament like that?
Well, I don't usually play tournaments. It's something I probably should maybe start learning the skill to play some tournaments. So, if there was that incentive, maybe I'd think about playing them because, that's a good opportunity to have done as well, and you get to design your own card. Who wouldn't want to design their own card,
Yeah. And good way maybe to burn some vouchers we were just talking about. Maybe the tournament entry is all in vouchers. I don't know.
Burn those vouchers.
Yeah, and the most important thing about this, and like I think I haven't been a part of the game yet where they've released a promo that like is accessible to everyone. You know what I mean? I know they exist. Like they have these promos out, like the Halfling and all of these that were 1BCX cards at some point that people got, right? My only promo experience has been Waka. And like I was priced out of that. So like I'm actually really looking forward to the first promo that is inclusive that I have physically been here to be a part of, you know, some 1BCX. And like that's the thing, if I am ever blessed with that opportunity to have a card made, I would want to be a common. 100%.
Wow. Don't sell yourself so short.
And I know,
it's
right?
it's actually the
you're
opposite.
legendary.
But it's
he
the
just wants
opposite,
more
baby.
of him around.
Everybody would play with me.
Please
Everybody would play with me if I was
don't
common,
start
baby.
another horrible hashtag, please.
Everybody play with me.
Oh my gosh. All right, moving on. I think we need to get away from that topic with that. A couple other things to mention. Splinterlands TV, finally we hit 1K followers, so congrats, guys. Drop Bear, are you joining the team at any point? Are you streaming at all or just making videos?
I haven't found out, or I don't know. I've just been making videos for now. I've only just started doing live streams as well, and I still keep having technical difficulties with them. So we've got to maybe
There you
work.
go. You might want to talk to Rondon. He's not only getting people on the stream, but he's teaching people how to stream. So he's a master.
Cool.
So congrats to the rest of us. We finally hit 1K followers. It was all after sound. You're on Splinterlands TV, right?
I had my first stream yesterday, so it was definitely not
so
me.
it was all you.
Yeah, you did it.
You got us there.
I did nothing. I'm just the guy who's waiting at the finish line to be like,
cool.
"Hey, did you race?" I'm like, "Yeah, I did."
Perfect. They also talked about the mobile app still not working for ranked rewards. They said that was a big miss. So if you're wondering, I don't think any ETA was given. So that's kind of a bummer, but hopefully they can get on top of that. But the one other touch of news that I want to really hit on, because I think this one's more of a fun, spicy topic. And literally, Tales from the Cryptmancer called this last week. He was asking us about this, like, hey, what do you guys think about, something to reset your ECR, if there maybe you can spend vouchers on it, and then boom, and then Town Hall, it's like they read his mind or something. They're like, hey, what if there's a potion that resets your ECR and you spend vouchers? So I want to get your take. They didn't confirm this is not like for sure happening. There's just an idea thrown out on the Town Hall. What do you guys think about that idea? Is that something they should implement?
I think there were two ideas. There's been two ideas I've been seeing floating around, and I think I like the one more than the other. Like potions, I honestly do both. Potions are great. I don't mind that concept, but like you really do get into some like, I don't know. It's just anytime you get big economy moves like that, I am worried. Because I mean they had quest potions once, and then they had to kind of walk that one back. And so like I would hate to have something like that. But the other idea that I think a lot more was having it related to the amount of SPS you have staked. So like an average player would have, the 1% drop per battle as normal. But then like the more SPS you have staked on your account, the less that you lose per battle. So like theoretically, like it wouldn't ever get to a point where you've got like, I don't know, if you have 1 million SPS, you don't lose ECR. Like, I don't think they would ever go that far, but like you could cap it at like 25% or something like that. You just be like, if you have X amount of SPS stake, then you only lose, 0.75 instead of 1% out of every battle or something like that. I think that could go a long way to incentivize SPS staking outside of just yields.
Yeah, and I think part of the problem is too that they're like, we want to incentivize you to play more, but it's like at some point, if you're playing so much, you're not really getting more chests, especially with your ECR getting lower. So I think that's kind of the debate there. It's like, cool, we found a way to make players actually play every day and play an hour a day now, but like what about those who actually want to push more? So I don't know, Drop Bear, After Sun, what do you guys think about that potential?
Just ignore it. I haven't been like paying attention to my ECR. At first I was, and then I just couldn't compete, or I was getting like one chest. I was like, nah. So I just had to just ignore it and just play when I want to play, if you sort of know what I mean. So bringing that in would help, especially, it would stabilize that so that issue wouldn't be there then. Sam, what do you
Again,
think?
but yeah, the diamond champion issue, like it's a totally different game up there.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
ECR isn't. The more diamond and champion players I talk to, like ECR is not something that they're like overly concerned with. They're just trying to string a couple wins together.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't know. I mean, I was a fan of the voucher idea, or like I guess ECR potion paid for with vouchers. I was talking to Godzilla a while back though, and he kind of talked me out of that because he's like, it'll be very much like a pay to win. But then the kind of response to that was like, the entire game is pay to win if you think about it. So
Yeah, for the most part,
I wouldn't be opposed to it, but I do like the staking of SPS better. I think the staking of SPS will create at least ongoing demand for SPS, which I think is, in my opinion, more important than vouchers, right? Because vouchers, I feel like the team created vouchers so that they can be flexible. But if they want to really drive value, they should be driving the value to SPS. And right now, there isn't much. This could give it a lot.
Yeah, no, I think that's not a bad idea, is to really reward the SPS, and that's, vouchers are a byproduct of SPS. SPS, I think, as you're saying, should be the main focus. And, the whole like pay to win and like, will this really change the economy? Honestly, like even if you gave people ECR potions or, help so that's not going down as much, it's like really at some point with the daily and season quests, like they get so exponentially harder to achieve unless you're playing, like, as you said, After Sound in bronze, or sorry, playing in gold while trying to achieve bronze chests. Like once you get to 15 chests in any league, it is so long. Like I was at 15 chests in bronze, playing in bronze at the top of bronze. And I was like, oh, I'm going to stream and just do like a little joke. Like, hey, I'm watching me get to 20 chests. I streamed for like 2 hours and I went from 15 to 18. I'm like, what the heck,
you jinxed
man?
yourself, dude.
Like, oh my gosh. Like, oh my, I didn't realize it's so brutal. And same thing with the season chest. So it's like, it could be like a fun way, but I actually don't think it would be really that much of a difference to how many chests you're going to get anyways.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It's a fun thing to think through, and we'll see if the team implements it or not. But let's move on. Just start talking about the reward changes, our strats now. It's almost been a full weekend. So I'm going to kick us off with Ashley's NFT Gaming. She submitted some questions earlier. So first off, which league are you guys playing in? Which one seems to be rewarding you the best right now? What would you say?
Rogue, you want to go first?
Sure. So yeah, I only play in silver. I started my grind in bronze, like everybody has to when you drop a league. And yeah, it's I think that's where I've been rewarded just fine playing in silver. I'm very happy with what I'm getting, the amount of daily chests I'm getting. I'm averaging between 10 and 13. So
and you mostly had a bronze level deck, as you were saying before, right? So are you
yeah.
starting to rent for that? Do you feel like in silver you're just able to compete with level 2 summoners, or do you have leveled up summoners now?
No, yeah. So sorry, I didn't know we were going full strategy.
No, I'm just curious.
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, if we are gonna go full strategy, so it has changed quite a bit. So last week when I was talking to everybody, I said ignore your focus, right? 100%, like it's bait, right? And it was 100% bait when you're playing day one. Like, I hope everybody at least realized that. Like, you should not have been wasting any time on focus while you're D-ranked 4 times, playing in some other league. But as soon as you do get to the max of your league that you're in, like, so for me, it was Silver 1, 1899. Like, as soon as I got to that rating, yeah, it actually did get to a point where I am now just playing my focus every day. And I'm spamming focus. Like, I'm not doing anything else. But along those lines, the sad thing was to maintain 10 chests a day or something along those lines. Like, I'm actually now playing very high up, like higher than I've really ever played. Like, I'm in the top 200 of silver right now. And I've never been there because I've only played like 5 ranked games a day to get my daily quest done at this point. So like I'm playing, it was about day 4 where I got out of the normal silver bronze players and started to get into the silver players, the ones that actually have silver decks. And I had to rent. So since then I rent every single day for my daily focus. I make sure I diversify my splinters. I go max silver, spend anywhere between 200 to 300 DEC. and just play at that point. Try to get the 10 to 13 daily chests a day. But yeah, I'm like rank 117 right now or something like that. And like, I didn't want to play this high. I don't want to play for a leaderboard. I legit, like, I never did. I never wanted to be up here, but in order to like continue getting these daily rewards, this is where I have to play.
Yeah. Don't worry, you won't be at the top of the leaderboard.
No, 100% not.
After
like,
you get to like top 100, dude, it gets so freaking hard.
It's been so weird because like sometimes I'll get paired with like people literally in like top 20, and then sometimes I'll get paired with people like 200 rating below me. Like, it's so diverse up here that like sometimes I get like 3 ratings, sometimes I go negative 33, sometimes like it's all over the place. I would hate to be a leaderboard player right now. Like, period. I just it's not for me. But yeah, the competition up here is absolutely nuts. But I have to rent silver. My deck is not even with what I have, the moves that I have made and getting to silver chaos, like there's still like all of the alpha, beta, wild dice, like you still need all those cards and you have to have them at max. And so yeah, we rent to play right now.
Yeah, and I think if you're paying attention, a lot of those cards that are really good have already bumped up in price for rentals. So you got to kind of mix it up right now if you want to rent pretty strong decks, because a lot of those classic Yodin, Kitties, stuff like that, they're flying off the shelf right now. That's for sure.
We're finally feeling the scarcity of there being limited cards.
Yeah. I mean, the nice thing is that because it's one Splinter, I know a lot of us complained about the daily focus just being one Splinter. The nice thing is that you can just rent for that one Splinter.
Exactly.
So even though it is a ton more demand,
that's been
it's like all of our demands split into 6 pieces, really.
Yep. And that's why it's kind of funny. Like, I was seeing in the chats, everyone's like, oh man, it's so broken when somebody gets a dragon focus. And like, since I rent like my Splinters, I'm like, don't give me a dragon focus. I just need one color to focus on here, guys. Like, don't screw me like this.
It's kind of been fun though. The meta change has been fun in the sense that like now certain days, like I will rent a couple of different summoners from a specific Splinter that I'm going to spam. And it's like tunnel vision, but when you're like restricting everything else, the strategy changes around it because it's like, okay, I'm going to be using the same monsters, but how can I change this lineup enough? How can I change the summoner so that they don't see what I'm planning to do coming, right? I think Death is probably one of the more funs to play with now because you can get each of those like debuffs essentially and try to see what they've been playing.
Yeah, Death, and that's the other thing is I'm learning so much more about this game right now because I'm being forced to do this. Like, the cool thing is, like, I see all of my opponents are spamming too, for the most part, unless I get one of those, like, top 20 players. The top 20 players are not spamming. They're just playing to win. But, like, everybody else is spamming, but it's the same strategy. Everybody's got, like, 3 different summoners, and they can play their deck not to be pigeonholed into, like green is not only magic. You know, and so that's been very interesting to see. And then plus I'm learning about all these abilities that these old cards have in silver that I didn't know that they had, right? There's a lot of fun stuff to do in max silver. Like a lot of cool, there's a lot of cool things going on here. Life is my personal favorite. I love playing Life in max silver. Getting Crawless and you know, playing around with that old sneak strategy, like just finally getting my hands on all that in like Lorena Shine in like low mana matches. Like it's very fun. It's very fun being pigeonholed but trying to be diverse within like one Splinter and trying to squeak out wins.
Well, I think that's the part of it too. Like it's a lot fun, as you're saying, if you're renting cards and you can rent multiple strategies, but I think probably if you're not renting cards, you're like, well, this is boring because I have my one deck, and most people have the Chaos Legion card. So it's like, well, I got my General Sloan strategy. So what's my strategy? Range, and that's about it, right? So I think if you're renting, I agree, it's a lot more fun because you can have diversity within one Splinter. But yeah, it does make it interesting if you're not doing that.
How much are you paying just on average per day to rent one Splinter in silver? Max out in silver.
Between 200 and 250 probably.
DEC.
Because that's, I mean, for gold, that's what I'm renting is like 100 to 200 DEC a day. But
and do you guys feel like you make that back with chests?
100%. In gold, yes,
I
100%.
don't know, honestly. I haven't really. I would say silver probably not too much.
So if you
Uh,
go to the splintershare.info, the thing that you showed me, Rogue, of like you can
Yeah.
see your daily chest, it actually has there on top now of like how many rentals and DEC did you have? How many DEC did you enter in battles? How much DEC did you enter
Ooh,
in
that's cool.
chests? And it'll show you the profit or the loss. And for me, even renting like 200 something a day in gold, it's pretty much 100% of the time still profit for DEC. And then you get the cards, packs, stuff on top of that. But while you're looking that up, Drop Bear, I'm curious for you. I know you mentioned playing in Diamond earlier. Are you playing any multi-accounts in Bronze, Silver, or the lower leagues?
Yeah, no. I just got the 2 accounts. So just exact same thing for me. It hasn't changed. I just push with the 1 account, and then when I get whatever I get with that, and then if I'm still stuck in obviously Diamond, I would play that same account. But if it drops me, if I get up to Champion, I will use the other account and I'll play that. Like I explained, so that's the only difference. Where
Are you delegating those cards, or how are you doing that?
I will delegate them cards across to that other account if I'm playing that. Yes, if I swap between the accounts, if I don't, I'll just use them where they're at. If you know what I mean.
So it's a 24-hour cooldown, right? So is that it's still worth
Yeah.
it to you to go back and forth and just wait the 24 hours?
I hire the cards then in the opposite deck, like I explained earlier. So
Yeah, okay.
then I'll hire a whole heap of cards at the beginning of the season. Because on top of that, I delegate my power out, all of my power for the first 2 days. I do that once every season at the beginning of the season. It's like a delegation thing I've always done. So I do that. So I've actually got no cards. So at the beginning of the season, then I just go and hire everything. Because
Interesting.
usually it was cheaper, and that was the strategy I was doing. And it was okay. And then someone else gets to use the higher deck, and they get to experience and see what that's like. And they can see if they like them cards or whatever, or so forth. So helps everyone else out and helps me at the same time.
Yeah, that's a really cool strategy. And I'm curious from your guys' point for your chest. Spikecoon just said one of his gold chests contained 19,800 DEC. I thought I got a lot because I pulled 3,000 in one chest. What's your guys' record? That's crazy.
My record before this new rewards went live was 14K in a chest.
What about with the new rewards since this last week?
At like 3.
3 DEC?
No, sorry, 3,000 DEC.
Oh, okay.
Is the highest.
I was like, whoa, bro. What? I know
Bro,
you're bron-
these champ
I know
chests
these
are
bronze chests, bro.
It's no joke, man. No.
The most I've received in a day so far is 126, or no,
Okay.
162. I don't know if that was all in one though. Silver's not really killing it in DEC. Like I almost envy you guys. You guys are like with your multipliers and all that.
And then Drop Bear, have you had any big DEC pulls up there in Diamond?
Not really yet. I think what is about close to 300. That's it for me so far. 300 DEC.
Dang. Okay. Well, I guess it just depends on the luck. I mean, sure, over the time. What is it in Diamond? Like a 30x multiplier in DEC or something stupid, right? 16? I don't remember.
I
But
think Diamond's 16. It's champion where it gets stupid at 48.
Yes.
yeah, it just makes you think when you
Silver
open
Series.
yours and you're like, oh, I got 3,000 DEC. But if I was in Champion, that would have been 25,000 or, whatever the math is off the top of my head. But, it is, I think, a motivator to see that because, like, Spikecoon, when you see that in the chat, you're like, someone just opened up $20 worth of DEC from one chest in gold. Like, that is crazy to think about.
I actually really like your strategy, Drop Bear, because if you just want to play one account, right, the entire season, you don't want to worry about like delegating cards back and forth. Like having 2 accounts where one cools down for a season, and then you just delegate all your cards there. I don't know. That seems kind of brilliant and brilliant to me because it's like my deck is generally like in gold, but what I'm finding is that I like playing in gold, but it'd be awesome to earn like bronze or we'll just say like silver level chests. So it's like if every season I let one account drop down to silver and then I go to that account and then move it up to gold, but I'm still earning silver level chests, then I get to play with the meta that I like, which is gold right now, while earning lower level chests. So I can get way more, even though the chests might not be as good. So I don't know if that strategy is going to be good in the long run, but you do get more out of it, right?
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know. I don't know the experience up at Diamond and Champion level, but I do know, based on the estimated value chests that, who knows for sure if those are still accurate, but if gold is twice as good as silver for your chests, and let's say you push up real hard in silver, playing in gold. Can you get to 30 chests pretty easily doing that? I mean, I know you did in bronze playing in gold, but
Not
No, not probably not
30.
30.
so that's where it's like if you can
He-
earn, I can earn, just playing in gold, 12 to 15 chests a day. I would have to double that in silver. I know you get some more in season, but not that much more.
Well, here's an interesting thing. So this account that I pushed, I had an alt account that was collecting dust. So it started in novice, and then I pushed it all the way up to gold. That's the one that I was able to get the 30 chests in one day. Well, now it's still in gold whenever I delegate cards to it. So today, right before the focus ended, I delegated cards. I played one game, and one winning gold got me 10 bronze chests. And then I waited for the focus to reset, and I played 2 more games, and that got me 15 chests. So I'll open the 15 chests tomorrow. So I'm just like, wait, there's weird things that you can do now that you're able to earn at higher levels for lower level chests.
Yeah.
And I think that's maybe the benefit is a time saver, right? Because if you're playing in gold and earning gold chests, your chests are going to be a lot better, even if you're only getting 10 of them. But that 10 is going to take you maybe your full hour of playing that day. Whereas, as you said, it's really funny in bronze. You can literally go in there and play a couple matches and get a mass amount of chests.
Can you
That's
clarify?
the issue. Clarify what?
So like, yeah, when you delegate, like, are you able to like you delegate from like your main account to this alt? Like, are you able to play with it right away?
I am. It's just like I can't play with it on the way back, so I have to let that cooldown goes into effect.
So the cooldown. So like, but if you played with it and then sent it, then your alt account couldn't use it.
So there'd be a cooldown there. But usually I'm just sending the cards that I'll need for the I'm sending the cards that I'm going to need for the daily focus, and then spam those. So again, it's not always going to be perfect. Today it just lined up kind of nicely.
Yeah.
But the thing is, even now I'm in gold. I could essentially just send my deck over for the power that I need for gold, and then go rent whatever cards that I technically want to play with, and then get however many chests, right? But I'm trying to go with no rentals. So we'll see.
Yeah, and that's kind of one of the discussions I wanted to have, because I think with these new changes, a lot of talk has been around people now opening up multi-accounts or bringing back their multi-accounts. I know for me, I had 3 dead accounts. Essentially, I was farming with those potions using a bot. And now I'm like, well, kind of your strategy is rent for the day, and renting for 20 DEC, I can get my 15 chests if I play a little bit here and there throughout the day. So I'm curious because what you guys think, because one of the team's goals was, yes, let's push people to go up in the ranks and get more rewards. But also a lot of the talks at the same time is, well, actually, we're not going to push to one account. It's more efficient to get 2, 3, 4, 5 accounts, or maybe even the bots. I don't know how many bots farms are still up and working. I'm sure Tales from the Cryptmancer will be able to tell us. But what do you guys think about that? Because I feel like the goal of pushing people to one main account hasn't been really achieved with this new system.
Well, I think it has. I think it has, because some of the things that we're talking about right now, like, isn't destroying the main account. It's not tearing apart the main accounts. It's actually using both. And I guess that's something that, like, I guess I never really thought of, like, what Aftersound's talking about, and what is going on here is, like, if you've got 2 accounts in different daily focuses, then you can delegate, like, kind of between the 2, but, like, you've got the one account that is pushing really, really high, right? Like, that's still, I think the goal is not to, like, sacrifice. It's just to try to use those cards in other accounts as well, not tearing down something to make smaller ones. Maybe I'm wrong.
I mean, this is not my idea, but somebody that I was talking with kind of laid out, like, you could have like 6 accounts, for example, right? And then you play on your main account and you spam whatever your thing is, and then you would have 5 other accounts that could, hopefully with the roll of the dice, right, have the 5 other splinters that you don't have a focus in. And then you just delegate your deck to them, play it out, and like every day you're only, like, you bring it back, you'll probably have like a day of cooldown that you'll need to use. But if you're organized with it, you'll be able to get at least like 2, 3, maybe even 4 of those accounts earning every single day with one deck. So that's where I think the cooldown exploit, I don't even want to call it an exploit because it's technically within like the terms of service that they have right now. But I wouldn't be surprised if they increase the cooldown time.
Well, and that's kind of what I want to ask in the town hall is like, is this strategy that now everyone's trying to implement, do you guys see that as just, hey, that's good, healthy strategy, go for it? Or does the team see that maybe against some of their goals and see it more as an exploit or something they need to change? I don't know. It doesn't sound like the team, based on the results so far, hasn't addressed it, at least in this last town hall. But again, we're so early into it, so it's hard to say.
I don't think the team's going to address anything for a while. I think they're going to be in data collecting mode for a bit, partially because I think they're like, they got the rewards thing done, and they're like, this is going to keep people happy for a while. Let's get to Modern a while. Let's get to Land. Let's get to Rift Watchers. And I feel like they're going to come back to this after they have a couple seasons of data. So, for everybody who's out there thinking like, all of like the suggestions and ideas that we have are going to get implemented next week at the end of the season or by the end of the month, I just don't think that's going to happen. So part of me looks at this and says, well, is this a viable strategy that I'm willing to partake in for the next, 3, 4, 5 seasons until they can circle back around to it?
Yeah, and I think one of the biggest issues, I guess, to think through is, again, going back to the daily and season chests, they are so much exponentially harder to get as you scale up, right? So someone in the chat, Kofi, was saying, if you're in gold, it's actually better to go split your account into 2 accounts, play in silver, over having 1 gold account. And it's because, if you think about it, getting your first 50 chests in a season is super easy. But literally in that video I did for Balthazar, to get the max 150 bronze chests playing in bronze, you'd have to win like 11,000 matches in a season. Like, it's impossible, right?
No.
But if I can play 3 different bronze accounts and rent cards or delegate cards, guess how easy it is to get 50 chests across all those. Now, I got 150 season chests across all 3 in the matter of playing, a couple days here and there. So I think that's the struggle, is like, I get why they're harder to get as you go, but it also makes it, on the flip side, easier to multi-account and be like, hey, I'm going to get 10 in this account per day, 10 on this account per day, rather than trying to shoot for 20 on one account, where it's almost impossible if you're playing in the correct league. So I don't know. It's kind of a catch-22, and I don't know if that's bad or if they should solve it or what.
Well, ultimately, it comes down to like how does the team feel about the cooldown? Like, if they think the cooldown is fine the way that it is with 24 hours, and then this is all gravy, right? Like, that we're using real cards at the end of the day to earn, and we're allowed to share cards between accounts, right? Whether it's a guild brawl or something like that, they want to encourage delegation of cards. And they don't want to discourage multi-accounting or botting, right? People are free to interact with the game however they want. So if they are okay and don't see a problem with the 24-hour cooldown, then everything's fine. Now, I don't think they're ever going to go back to like the 7-day cooldown, because that, a lot of people were complaining about that. But I can see kind of anywhere in between, or like anywhere between like 2 to 4 day cooldown. But again, that would hurt a lot of like guilds who do a lot of delegations for brawls and frays.
Yeah, but I think as well, it's not even just the players. It's also, I worry about the bot farms if they turn back on, because part of it was what they're saying is we don't want bots to have an advantage over players, right? And so part of that was we need to make sure that win rate is very useful and very meaningful. And based on the results I did on estimated values, because again, chests are so hard to get as you go up, getting 20 wins a season, or 20 wins a day out of your 30 matches versus 10 wins a day out of your 30 matches, like, really didn't make a huge increase in earnings. And so like I worried that a lot of these bot farms could still turn on, win 20 to 30% of their matches, and almost get the same amount of rewards as me playing as a human and winning 60% or more. It's not 1 for 1, but it doesn't feel like that big of a difference to me, where I'm like, well, if I had a bunch of accounts and I'm winning 20%, I'm still getting a ton of rewards. So I don't know. It's hard.
I'm not as worried about the bots though, because here's the thing, right? Like, I was worried about how the bots were like exploiting the game when the new player experience or like bronze silver league experience was garbage. Now that experience has gotten better for you, and it's better for anybody that wants to join the game at any level. So if the bots come in and do the same thing, they still have to use cards within the same rules that we do, and there's a limited number of cards. So sure, could there still be an exploit there? Yes, but I'm not as worried about it now, just because like, look at everybody in bronze and silver. They're all raving about, how good the rewards change is. So, maybe the bots can have a piece of that cake too.
Drop here to hear from you again. I'm curious. You're playing up these counts at high levels. What's what's the strategy there? Like, why not just drop down and play maybe 3 or 4 accounts in gold or something like that?
If I was going to do that, I would do it totally different. I would have a separate account, start from the beginning at novice, and then play that as high as I could. It'd make more sense to me to do
Just
it like
for
that.
the bronze chests instead of.
Like, no, to push all the way as high as I can to the end of the season. So start from the beginning, work that account all the way up, and then start it. And then next season starts, do that again. Start at novice in a different account I have, work all the way back up again, because it will give me more rewards quicker. And by doing that, hypothetically, you might be able to get that bigger amount of chests. So you could do it with a couple accounts as well, couldn't you, during the whole season? You know, work it up to as high as your level deck can do, then delegate everything across and do it again. Instead of splitting them up and playing 1 or 2 accounts, just put your main account in one account, hammer that one account, get it as high as you can. You've got them rewards set, done, dusted, then move on to the next one. If that's what you want to get maximal profits out of it, if that's what you wanted to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really interesting where, you know, it's such a weird state where we're all trying to figure this out still, and there's so many different strategies. And while I do worry about maybe potentially bots extracting a lot of value if they decide to turn on, the one thing that I do think is different is the removal of the starter cards, because now we're pretty much capped at a certain amount of cards. Like, even if all these bots come back to rent cards, there's only so many amounts that they can rent and still be profitable. The one worry and concern is, do rental prices go like crazy to where players are getting in the same spot where it's like, well, it doesn't feel worth it to rent anymore, so I'm just not going to do that and not going to.
Well, that's kind of the balance, right? Like, that's like I hear a lot of people kind of talking about that, and it's like our system the way that it is right now. Like, remember that at least everything right now is on the decision of the players, right? These are all assets owned by people. And so, like, the rental market is people. They have full control over, like, what prices they put on the market. So, you know, if people aren't paying attention to their rentals and not, like, pricing them accordingly, and we stay at this, like, super cheap rent to play into the top levels that you need to, then, yeah, I got a feeling like we're just gonna stay in this level of profit. But, like, it can't. In my opinion, it can't stay this way. Like, unless there are so many people that are checked out of their accounts and not paying attention to their rentals. You know what I mean? Because I think everybody, for the most part, like, especially the bots, like, in order to get up to whatever one that they need, like bronze 1 or silver 1 or whatever, they have to be renting, right? Like, they have to be playing the max level cards, or else they're farming down at 3, and like, that was always the biggest thing. It was like these bots would live in these lower forms of, like, the leagues, right? Silver 3 or bronze, 2, whatever, because it really didn't matter that they had to be that high. But now, with the reward points and everything, in order to maximize any rewards, like all of us that are getting the 10 to 12 a day, I would safely say everybody should be playing in 1, right? Silver 1, gold 1, diamond 1, whatever, to be getting that level of rewards every day. If a bot's stuck in 3, even at a 20% win rate, there's no way they're getting more than a couple chests a day.
So surprisingly, based on the numbers that I put together for that video, it actually wasn't that different. So if you're playing in silver 3 versus bronze 1, you're actually still better off in silver, unless you're only winning like 10 matches out of your 30. It's like you have to have a win rate difference to make enough difference, where silver 3 and gold 3 is still actually better than silver 1. It's like, unless you have an abysmal win rate or a really, really strong win rate.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting thing to figure out. And I guess to your point, Rogue, like, it's not that I'm worried that the rental prices will go up, because I think they already are going up, and I think they will go up, especially because in bronze 1, my estimated earnings were $8 per account, when you can rent and pull that off for like 2 cents a day. So you're talking about renting 28 cents of cards to make $8 every 2 weeks. Like, that's a pretty big gap, where before it was like, rent 2 cents to make 3 cents a season or something. Like, it was absolutely ridiculous. So I feel like there needs to be somewhere in there where it's like the renters might move it up. But my fear is always like, I don't want to get to that spot where it's like, well, I don't want to rent and have a chance to get into this game if I can't own cards, because there is something nice about having an option of coming in here, renting, working your way up, and starting to own assets over time. So that's more of like, I want that option still to be available to players like it wasn't really before this change. So I'm happy with the change now. I just hope it stays somewhat as good, not maybe as this good.
Yeah.
The thing is, whether it's bots or players, like that arbitrage is going to get eaten up, right? Like if you're able to make $8 on your 28 cents, sure, bots will do that faster, but the team is expecting the game to grow over time. So if it's not bots, then it'll be new players coming in that are trying to figure this out and go through it.
What do you guys think about Ashley's comment? And I think I saw, was it DB Official also was talking about this in our content Discord, asking for a bonus for owning cards. So instead of like, hey, you got 10% for gold foil, alpha, beta cards, maybe there's like an also, I don't know, 1% bonus per card that you own versus rent. Does that make a difference? Does that matter?
I mean, would you go that route, or would you just say like ghost cards are 0%, rented cards are 50%?
50% nerf of rentals?
I don't know. I would make it more of like the negative than a bonus. You know what I mean? Like,
I think the problem for that is also that's a flip side effect of like, do people rent less cards, and people of owning cards trying to rent out cards now make less, and so now they're pissed off. I don't know. Maybe that.
Yeah. No, I mean that's where like
say that again, Dropper.
It'd probably force people to buy more cards if that was integrated, because you wouldn't want to rent them because you wouldn't be getting as much percentage. It'd force more people to buy cards.
Yeah, but it would. Yeah, I don't know. It's rough. That would actually that would make everything really interesting, because I think rentals is one of the best things about Splinterlands.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Because from a trading card perspective, I would love if I wanted to go to a Grand Prix for Magic the Gathering, and I knew what the best deck was, and I'd been playing it online or whatever, practicing with it, but I didn't own any of the cards. I would love to be able to walk into my local game shop and be like, I would like to borrow these cards for the weekend, pay you some low value of what they're actually worth, and go do this tournament, and then return them at the end of the weekend. But you can't do that with physical cards, right? There's too much liability with any of that. Having that option in this game is amazing. Mm-hmm. And so I would hate to deter this in any way. I go back to free market. It is on the renters. It is on the renters to understand that the market that they have, and to be more responsible with their cards. If they're underpriced, and you've got this thing auto set at 0.2 DEC, even though some other dude's going to come behind you and snag it for 10 DEC later, you know what I mean? Raise the floor. Don't just set it and forget it. Be an active renter, so that way you can gauge where the real value of these cards need to be. Because right now I think there's too much cards that were just kind of set on the market, and they're so low, and they get scooped up as soon as they come back available again.
See, Rogue, stop telling people to wake up. I want these low rental prices, man. I make good use of these rentals.
It's healthy.
Don't screw me.
Luke doesn't want healthy. You
to.
It's healthy. You know what? And that's the thing. I personally, in my opinion, it is almost a shame that there are people or bots or whatever set up in this game that can get really obnoxious, cheap rentals, where really I'm just at the mercy of whatever it was the minute that I walked into the store. You know what I mean? I'm all right, I got a fire splinter. I'm going to go look for fire cards. Whatever the prices are at that moment, that's what I got. You know what I mean? But the fact that there are people that have these cards set at so low, probably from prices 2 years ago. You know what I mean? I remember one of the first cards that I had rented when I was going for CP was a gold foil wood nymph at 0.1 DEC. And I kept it forever. It was 200, or it had to have been 150 days that I kept that card. It was never taken back. And I think that was 7,500 CP per DEC. And like, so that's an unreal, like that was a price that was probably set 2 years ago and like just never gotten changed. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know why that card exists on the market for that price, but you know, so I don't know, active renters. And like, honestly, it's us. Like I did it too. I pulled all my cards off the market for renting, all my extras, because they were all going for 0.1 DEC. And I think that's too low. So I just pulled them all instead of just getting my 0.1 DEC, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, I think the market's going to be adjusting continuously for a while, and it's just really going to be interesting to see how crazy does it get. And I think part of that is going to be the discussion around how many bots come back, but I don't think that's the only factor. I mean, I think players just in general are renting. I mean, we're all talking about how we started to rent cards because you need to win. And especially because the competition's got more fierce, you can't really just do that. Oh, I'm going to play with my level 1 cards all the way to gold rating because no one's challenging me. It's like, well, that doesn't really work anymore, right? So it's like we need the ability to rent at some capacity, because if you want to compete, unless you're like scaling all the way back down to bronze or silver, maybe the Modern League helps out a bit, because Wild right now you're dealing with a ton of cards. So maybe the competition again will get split and be a little bit easier, but I don't think a ton. I don't think it's going to alleviate that much pressure.
Yeah. Depends on the reward pools of them. There's going to be 2 different reward pools, with them, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's meant to be split. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll just have to wait and see then.
I don't know. To Rogue's point, though, I don't think you can nerf rentals. Like they're such an integral part of the game. And what made me really kind of admire the game economy that exists here, I think what Ashley was originally saying, though, was like putting it as a bonus. And sure, you could have it as a way where you don't nerf rentals, but you incentivize ownership, and I get that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not opposed to it.
If they were to put
it's funny,
incentivized by appreciation of the asset.
Well, that and the other benefit is you're not paying DEC to rent cards.
Exactly.
We're talking about how cheap it is now,
right?
but realistically, that is your benefit. You're not going out and renting cards.
You don't have to pay anything because you paid the one-time fee. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it just happens to be cheap right now, so it feels bad maybe to own when you're like, well, I could just rent. And that's the funny thing is, like, literally because I'm playing in gold right now, I'm not even using any of my own cards at silver level because now I'm going and renting all gold level ones. So
exactly,
it is just a weird state of the game where it's like I'm not even using my own cards.
Well, you know, somebody in the comment section earlier was saying like they viewed rentals as like a stepping stone to ownership, and I guess the fundamental question then comes down to do you believe this game should be playable with rentals, right? Like should people be able to have just as good of an experience with rentals, whether it's earning, whether it's enjoyment, like, you know, and that's not 100%. A question that we can necessarily answer, but
I think so.
I mean, why 100%.
Not? I think the team has already answered that, saying that they treat rentals and ownership the same. So
yeah.
Well, and it's a benefit to both parties, right? Like you have the renters are putting out the cards because they don't want to play the game or they want to get some passive income, and it's just like it's essentially a scholarship model without needing scholarships, because it's just a rental market.
Yeah. Just the open free market.
It helps you make decisions to make your own deck better as well, then, instead of going out and purchase and it doesn't work with it.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, and I think too the one bummer negative effect for me with the rental prices starting to go up on good cards is I have always rented cards for tournaments, and you need max level cards in tournaments to compete. And I'm like, oh, dang it. Like the one negative effect is even though I'm earning more in ranked, it's like, dang it, now I have to rent a couple extra 100 DEC for specific tournaments that I want to compete in. I'm like, no, stay cheaper, please.
It does feel nice that DEC's back at its peg though, because like 100 DEC before used to feel like so much.
Yeah. Oh,
but now I'm just like, 100 DEC, what was that? It's like 10 cents. Okay. Like I can make that back in a couple of games or something like that.
Yeah, for sure. Well, any other strats, things that have come to your guys' mind as you guys have played, and I don't know, any other thoughts about these ranked rewards?
Drop Bear, you got anything?
No, I think I've covered majority of everything that what I sort of thought, and I've been trying. Like I said, we won't really know until we actually do end the season. Then we can actually see, you know, like having the higher amount of the chess level, if we're going to get more or not, you know, until that, because we haven't even finished your first season yet, so it's hard to crunch numbers you don't have. So
Yeah.
Well, and I think everyone
we get further along, I think that we'll be in a better position to see, because all these strategies are good strategies, but then we'll start to narrow down and figure out what actually works better.
I mean, that's a good point, though. It's like if everyone's starting to become more positive, again, maybe not Diamond Champion players with the struggle up there, but if we're already this positive in bronze, silver, gold, imagine how positive we're going to be when we get to open up 70 bronze, silver, or gold chests all in one moment. Like that, I think is going to be such a hype experience for players and for streamers. So if streamers are going to do it, content creators, I'm sure everyone's going to, I'm already thinking about the clickbait of, hey, look at me, watch me open up 250 chests in one day, right? Because I have 3 alt accounts. And so I think that's going to generate a lot of hype too. Just,
I'm already seeing it more on Twitter. Like people are using the Splinter share image like a lot on Twitter now, then because like basically people are getting season end rewards every day now, and so like everyone's been sharing a lot more, and so it's been great to see. It's been really good to see.
I think just across the board, end of season is going to be so much more fun for people, because before, if you were finishing in bronze or silver, I don't even know, like you get what, 12 chests in silver, 12, 15, 18,
it was
something like
12
that.
at silver
18
3.
and silver.
Like everybody would always want to watch the content for like the champion level, where it's just like endless, right? Endless rows of chests. You just hit reveal all. Well, now every player, if they put in the time and energy during the season, will be able to have some kind of experience like that.
How many times on your show where you're like, I'm just gonna hit the reveal all? Nah, just kidding. We're gonna go every single one of these.
I love the single click, man. I know I'm just a sucker for.
I single click too, but that's because again, like if you have 12 chests, you got to make that thing worth it. Like on stream, you got to make every little click has got to matter. Whereas Dwayne is just sitting here, Bulldog's sitting here, reveal all, and you just scroll. Like I can't even tell what's going on. But I guess that's going to be all us. I'm still going to go for the single click method, though.
Oh, 100%.
There's just going to be like 250 of them to now open.
I am too. Luckily for me though, I haven't gotten so weird that like I don't have like some like slot machine thing that I do with my screen yet. Like I don't like hover over stuff and like circle it like 7 times before I click it.
You got to get the ritual
no
going.
Weird voodoo yet. So
no, you got to get the
good.
ritual. I got mine. You got to get yours developed. It's only been for pack openings, but maybe it'll be coming to chest opening now that there's so many.
No.
Same.
All right, I know Ashley had another question too, so this is kind of a fun one. She asked, are you guys playing more than you did before? Let's hear everyone's ECR. I'm assuming we're all playing more than we did before, but how much would you guys say you're playing more per day? Is it 2x, 5x? What, like, give us a number. What do you think?
3x.
I think 3x is actually safe.
Yeah, because I think
3x on your tournament, Rogue? Because like you played a lot of tournaments and no rank play, or 3x of just rank play?
3x of just rank play. Okay. Tournaments is the same. I play the same amount of tournaments, but no, yeah, because I would say now that I've kind of settled into this, like I have to rent, but I don't want to push leaderboard. Like I'm just kind of in this weird moment where I'm going for like 10 to 13 chests, and I think it's about 15 or so wins, maybe. So like just kind of scaling on like if I used to go 5 wins for my daily reward, if I'm going for 15 wins now, I think it's like 3x. Like I think my win rates are about the same. So yeah, I still haven't pushed my ECR below 85%.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, I keep it up. I spread my stuff out through the day. I never binge play all at once. Max I'll do in a single sitting is like 10 games. And I try to play like 3 to 4 times a day. And just kind of usually depends on however many times I got to go to the bathroom.
At least you're honest about it. Drop Bear, how about for you? How low are you playing your ECR, and are you finding yourself playing a lot more now?
Yeah, I just don't, like I said, I don't pay attention to it. What is it at the moment? Well, I'm at 39 at the moment. Yeah.
Wow.
I had it down to, as I was climbing back up, I ended up getting it down to 14.
Whoa.
Wow. That's
Yeah,
I'm curious, anyone in the chat can beat 14%. Has anyone gotten lower than Drop Bear this season? That's real low.
Dude, I did the math on that. That was like
how many matches is that, Drop Bear?
160 some games. Whew. To get down to 14%. Like,
I mean, how many hours a day are you playing, Drop Bear, you think?
I haven't been tracking it. I usually try to stop playing at about 2 o'clock. So get up in the morning, do all my work stuff as I'm doing my work stuff. I do like some play a few games in between as I'm doing that. So I just play during that period of time. Then usually at 2 I stop playing. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem with these new reward changes, is that no one's being productive anymore. No one's doing real work. We're all just on our phones while we're supposed to be working, just kind of flipping through some games, trying to win some.
Everyone's just gonna be playing games for a living in the future. We're not gonna have like anything.
Yeah, because that's a sustainable economy and world.
Right.
I always think it's funny when people are like, "Oh, we're all gonna be full-time gamers with this new play-to-earn economy." It's like, you really think the world could work like that, where every single person that wants to be a full-time gamer can achieve that?
Someone's got to milk the cows, right? So, wait, hold on. We kind of passed over something for Rogue. So you said you play when you go to the bathroom.
Yes.
I'm assuming you don't bring your whole laptop into the bathroom with you.
No, bro.
So how is that mobile experience? Sorry, I'm not trying to focus on the bathroom part, but I am focused on the mobile experience part.
So, Rogue, I hear you're in the bathroom. Tell us your experience.
So yeah, it's kind of hard sometimes, but we get
like
by. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Honestly, the mobile experience has always really been fine for me. I figured out the way to just kind of go about it. It's I know when it freezes. I know when I have to refresh it. It's not terrible. I like the interface. The only issue that I have right now is like the new ranked rewards didn't they didn't come through. So I still have to do all the claiming on the website, and I have to do all of that on the website. But it works good for me because I don't have a lot of time to sit in front of my computer. So that's exclusively talking to Luke or doing other streams. So, but then tournaments. Anytime I'm sitting in front of my computer, I got to do tournaments. But yeah, for the most part, I'll look, see what my focus is, go do my rentals on Peak Monster, log my tournaments, and then I'll have whatever cards that I need for that day. And then during the day, I'll play 8 games at a time or something like that, and just keep an eye on that ECR. I got mad today, though. Today I logged on and I saw an ECR of 100%, and I was like, oh my goodness.
POS.
What a waste.
It snuck up on me. I didn't mean to. Like, I get it to like that 99.5, and I'm like, oh, gotta play one. So like in my mind, if it ever hits 100, I have a lost opportunity, and I'm just like, no. But yeah, I'm always tiptoeing that line between 90 and 99%.
The funny thing for me is that I feel like I'm almost playing the same amount, but the reason is different. It's because now I'm playing in gold, so I don't get the opportunity to play as many bronze and silver tournaments. So like the beginning before I went to gold, I signed up for as many tournaments as I could while I was still in silver.
Yeah.
But that only lasts you like maybe 5 or 6 days is how many tournaments they have scheduled out normally in the Splinterlands official one. So maybe next season, because the gold gets so hard in the first few days, my new strategy moving forward might be like, hey, let's wait 3 or 4 days to move up into gold, really see how many tournaments we can sign up for going forward, and that way I can still do as maybe like 75% of them.
You'll be earning gold level chests though,
right? So it's a trade-off, but the nice thing about the tournaments is I was raking in way more SPS, so there's a trade-off there, and it's hard to determine which one is better.
You and I are playing each other again in this gauntlet.
Yeah, enjoy.
In the wild tournament. Wow, you whooping tail in this one?
Oh no, dude. The last one you and I did pretty well. This one I was abysmal. I like barely limped into day 2, and then I started losing, and I was like, screw it, I'm done.
Oh, woof, look at you.
Yeah, I started experimenting.
All right.
You should play your match against me. You'll have fun.
No, I can't. You're 2 in, and I don't have my rentals yet. Like, dead serious. Like, that was the thing. I was looking at this one, and I was like, man, this is the frustrating part, is I gotta rent for my focus, but then I also have to rent for this tournament because like wild bronze, like you need Delwyn, you need stuff. So
you have to rent like 100 to 200 cards for that.
Oh my goodness.
Just that bronze
silly.
Because it's wild format.
Yeah, it's wild bronze, and like the meta is I'm probably just gonna rent Delwyn and Magic cards, and I'm just gonna spam. I'm just because I think that's the meta. I haven't like that's what I see is
So that's what I
dominating
was
this.
trying to counter because I lost and I was like 7-7. I'm like, screw it. And so I was just starting to counter Magic. And I almost had the right idea in like 3 or 4 matches, but I had like 1 card out of order or something. And so I played it on Splinter Tools and found out, oh, I actually should have won that if I countered Magic in this way instead of the way I did it. But
Nice.
Obviously when you do that, your tournament score doesn't look too good.
Yeah, because I think I was at a point where I'm like Delwyn, and then just whatever has Magic and Void Shield. So it's like Void Dragon, Oceanus. It's just like we're gonna load up on this. I'm gonna heavy hit you with Magic and have Magic Shield or Magic Void, and I'm like, let's go. It seems to be working fine. I went 9-2 both day ones, so I gotta runt again.
Yeah, no, you're killing it. And quick shout out to Mumples. I think this is
Mumples.
40, 42 maybe Gargoyle Lions coming in today. So
Whoa.
Oh, wow.
Mumples adding to that Lions. Then we just hit
Dude, my
3,000
boy.
this week. So with that, we're gonna be almost on our way to 3,100 already.
There you go.
So, holy shit, you've got 3,000 Gargoyle Lions.
I'm still shooting for 10K. Maybe at
10.
that point, Nate will make us a Lukey the Lion NFT. 10K. I feel like 10K is respectable enough.
How many flesh golems does that guy own?
That
Mark?
other account, I don't remember. That was insane.
I think once you pass him, then
that was a lot of them too were like max leveled flesh golems as well.
like alphas, right?
That person could be like literally I don't know if they could even liquidate them all, but I mean that's somewhere upward of like $10,000-$50,000 worth of cards maybe. I don't know. It was an insane amount. Maybe not.
Well,
that
okay.
much,
Well,
but-
there's only between alpha and beta. There's only like 24,000 in circulation. So as soon as you hit
Probably all
24,000 Gargoyle Lions, I think it'd be good.
We're all probably renting level 3 flesh columns from the same guy.
Same guy.
Yeah, probably. No, that was the other thing I noticed is like there's a lot of like you can rent good commons max level silver in like the beta set that is like real cheap, like and untamed. Like
So that's actually one of my strategies, and I'm curious to see if you guys have any pushback or thoughts about this. But I feel like a lot of people are going for the things like the Lorna Shine or the Legendary Jotens. I've actually found a lot more success, at least in gold and some of my bronze accounts as well, just renting a cheaper level maxed summoner and then going for good max level monsters. So, I can rent the +1 life armor, which is not a very good summoner when you compare it to Lorna or Sloan or Chancius. But if you go rent that plus a Silver Shield Assassin level 5 with poison is like 1 DEC or 2 DEC, something stupid like that. So I've actually found more success focusing on leveled up monsters than summoners. I don't know if you guys agree with that or have different thoughts about that.
I don't think it works in silver, but I think you're right. I think there's a cost analysis in gold that would probably justify it because silver, like it's not ridiculous to get the max level on, maybe not Jotuns. Like I 100% the legendary summoners trying to do level 2. Yeah, well, I stay away from those. But like the Lorena or the rare ones from Dice, I think they're still cheap in silver, but I could definitely see it as an opportunity for cost savings in gold.
I mean, abilities just become so much more abundant too in gold, which changes the meta. Like birds, bees, and trees is asking like what cards change a lot. So that got me thinking. Where it's just like there's at least one card I think in every Splinter where it's just like it goes from being just okay to game changing, right? I think Blight obviously is Blight goes from pretty good in silver to broken in gold. Like that's the biggest.
Scavenge. Oh my gosh, that's all I rent.
That's
It's like
the
30
biggest
DEC
shift.
and it's all I rent.
That's all you need. Blight will win you enough games in gold just with scavenge and the additional magic damage because he gets scavenge and then he's able to.
He
hit
gets
for
2 magic in gold.
Yeah,
And scavenge. So like literally by
Well,
the
yeah,
end of the
the
match with the camouflage, he has like 15 health, and you're like,
I knew
it's
the
either
scavenge. I didn't know he got the extra.
yeah. So you pair him with Obsidian, and all of a sudden, like he's just doing crazy stuff. But there's like some common or even common cards, and like I think like Time Mage is one, Goblin Psychic is another one, Deep Lurker getting poison. Like those are
There's
all
a
like
lot of poison up in gold, and that's what
Yeah.
I go to a lot. It's like Deep Lurker, Uraeus, Blight. Like you can get different poisons. You don't even need Waka. Just get a poison with opportunity, poison with sneak, and a poison in the front line.
There you go.
I don't know, Drop Bear, did you have any other suggestions? Like, what are some of the go-to cards that you like to use up in those higher ranks?
Not really. I guess it depends on the rule set. So I just go off the rule set. That's what I do. I try to base whatever I'm doing off the rule set. So I wouldn't really individually with individual cards. More so, the more abilities you can unlock with them cards that will work for the rule set that you've actually got given to you. That I found for me anyway. Yeah.
Nice. All right, well, I think it's about time to start winding things down. I was trying to open up my gold chest live, and then, Mum, you sent me all those gargoyle lines and completely screwed it up. So, on my Splinter share, guess what I got? I got 2 commons, 1 rare, 200 DEC for a total value of 44 cents in gold. So, you know,
How many chests
not
was
every
that?
time is magic, but the brilliant, beautiful thing is there was 1 gargoyle line. So, it was all worth it.
All worth it just for that.
That a boy, baby.
That was 11 chests. So that was a pretty, as far as the estimated value of 44 cents, that was pretty abysmal compared to the other days.
Well, where's the analysis at now? Because I remember bronze chests people were estimating they would be around like 3 cents. So technically, you're kind of above that.
In bronze, these were gold chests.
Oh, these were gold chests.
So
Sorry, my bad.
that should, on average, that should have been like $1.70 maybe.
Yeah. Okay. You had a bad pull.
But that's fair. I had 2 days of pack pulls in a row. One day was a pack pull and a gold full card or something like that, and it was like $8 worth of value. Or no, that was the day I got 3,000 DEC and a pack. So that day I was jumping up and down a little bit.
Nice.
But
nice.
anyways, it's been good discussions here. I gotta get going a little bit earlier tonight, so let's take some time to sign off. Drop Bear, I'll start with you. Anything you want to shout out about your channel or anything else you got going on?
Not as much. Come check me out if you want. If not, all good. Yeah, no.
This is why we love Drop Bear.
Yeah.
You want to see?
I've been working really good and hard on the guild, and the guild's been going really well. I'm quite impressed with all our guild members. It's really good. We're actually ranked 17 at the moment, so I'm quite happy with everyone there. If you would like to check that out, we have got a couple of spots in one of our feeder guilds that you'll have an opportunity to get into the bigger guild. So
Cool.
yeah, you can check that out.
Well, and take a second as well. What's this whole thing about the NFT project? Give yourself a little sales pitch real quick.
Okay. Well, I'm just working on one person working on it, so it's been taking me a while. I don't know if I've got one of them up. I'm trying to see if I do. I'm on my other computer. I'm used to using my other computer. It's got all my software and stuff on that there. But I've been working on it for a few months and stuff. But yeah, you put me on the spot, mate.
I'm sorry.
Got him.
So this is a game. This is an art collectible. How would you describe
it's a game, mate. I'm working on a game. Like, I'm basically up to integrating sounds and stuff into the game. It's just, because it's difficult because it's like the first time I've attempted to do something like that. So, it's just a work in progress. I have got 2 of the NFTs up for sale on of the first cards released. I was trying to find a picture of them for you. That's why it's hard for me. I'm a typical male. I only can do one thing at a time.
No worries. If you get it up by the end of the show, we'll show it. If not, you can drop it in our Discord or something like that, and we'll show it off. That's cool, though.
That's what I was trying to look for. It's on my other computer. But yeah, no, I've got 2 of them up on I think it's on one of the Hive blockchain things there, the NFT art collection. I forget what it's called. What's it called? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I mean, I only really know of the Splinter Talk collectibles on Hive. Is there another one?
Yeah, like I said, I would have got it up straight away. It's just I don't use this computer for that.
Yeah.
This is my other computer, so my bad.
No worries. Chat is saying we need a kangaroo card, so you at least got that for a suggestion.
Yeah, I will say one thing for I boot off. The game, though, is based on all mythical creatures around the world. So, like Australia, like we've got like the drop bear, or you've got like in what is it overseas? They've got the chupacabra, all them type of things. So that's what the game's sort of based on. All them different types of mythical creatures. So we've got 32 of the cards completed so far with the artists and that. So we're up to that stage. It's just that we're still developing and it's like far out for a while yet. So it's probably it'd be a few more months in development before we get it out to everyone. And we'll have more then.
I mean, either way, that's just exciting. You're working on your own project. I can't even imagine taking that on. So congrats to you, and I'm excited to hear more about that later on when maybe there's a little more updates. So thanks for being here. And Rogue, anything you want to shout out this week?
Yeah, I'm Rogue. I have a show every Monday night, 9 p.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern on Splinterlands TV. It's still summertime, still not doing a lot of content, but follow me on Hive at Rogue Patton, Peak D. I occasionally post a video on there. I'll be doing kind of a deep dive into my first season here with the new ranked rewards, and we'll talk about everything that we experienced along the way. But no, other than that, that's what I got. Let's make sure we jump over and we support Steve because he's got some cool stuff going on Splinterlands TV right now. But yeah, that's what I got.
And then last but not least, Aftersound, anything you want to talk about or shout out this week?
No, just everybody, best of luck on your season end. This is going to be an exciting season end, so I hope you guys get some good stuff. Excited to see what comes through. And yeah, check out the lore. There's a lot of fun stuff happening there. And it's not just for me, but I think the creative team is working really hard. So I feel like they're putting some cool Easter eggs inside the lore, which will make it fun for people that actually dive in and get something more out of the game.
Sweet. Yeah, I mean, the kudos to you and the whole team on the art stuff and the lore. Things are getting a lot better, so I'm excited for you guys moving ahead. And last but not least, as we sign off, I need to shout out Mumpoles one more time because another drop of Gargoyle Lions here. So there's the Gargoyle Lion sound for you. I don't even know how many this might be another 50 or 100 or something like that. Mumpoles, you treat me too well. Let's see what's the total Lions Den up here now. What are you guys guessing?
I mean, you were going for 3,100, right? You might be there.
We are, let's see, 3 shy of 3,100 total Gargoyle Lion cards.
You'll be there by the...
So close, Mum. Thank you. Guys, they're so close. So maybe as we sign off, there'll be another 3. Wink, wink. Someone out there?
I'm sure.
I'm just kidding.
I'm sure you'll end up with more than enough.
Either way, let's go rate some of Steve's awesome Splinterlands TV channel. So once you get over there, shout out Splinter Talk. Of course, a normal guest here on the show, now streaming on his own time slot on Splinterlands TV. So let's go maybe hashtag Splinter Talk, and let's see if we can get some good spam in there. For now, on this channel, we are signing off. See you over at Steve's party. Giveaways hopefully haven't happened yet. We'll see.
Yeah, right.
All right. Take care, everyone.